Hello, let's make some Greek chop. So right now, my chicken is currently defrosting because I forgot to take it out. Later, or now, if you have chicken that is ready to go and not needing defrosting, you're going to marinate that with some Greek dressing. I use the Primal Kitchen one because I don't feel like making it myself. If you wanted to make it yourself, it's just gonna be olive oil or avocado oil, some garlic, some pepper, some salt, some paprika, some onion, some dill, some parsley, all of those types of things, a little bit of vinegar on that. But what we're gonna do to make this Greek chop is you're gonna open up a can, one singular can of chickpeas. You're gonna set your oven to 350. You're gonna put those rinse and drain chickpeas in the oven and let them get crispy crunchy. So I'm putting that on my top rack. My oven is currently in the preheating process, but that's fine. It's not like a baked good, put it in. Then you're gonna want some carrots, red onion, a red and a yellow pepper, and some cucumber. We're gonna chop and dice all of those, put them in a bowl. I'm gonna grab now. Maybe. Very unorganized today. Here we go. We got our bowl. We've got our cutting board. We're just gonna chop and dice. The nice thing about this is it is a raw salad. So, basically, that means we just have to chop things. So I've got my little cucumbers that I've got here from Target. We're going to horizontally cut them so that they lay flat. We're going to cut those in half again, and then we're going to dice. So you get these little half semicircles that look roughly like this. Maybe a little smaller, maybe a little bigger. Depends on the cucumber you have. If you don't have like the little English ones, maybe just have a regular cucumber. Just get them so they're pretty small. You want to be able to get everything kind of in one bite. But we're gonna cut up all these cucumbers because this is gonna make a nice big chopped salad. I love making salads without the lettuce. It's one of my favorite things to do because lettuce can easily turn and go. You can of course add it if you want to, if you want those extra greens in there. Personally, for me, a salad is always better when I'm not making it myself. So I save my salads for when I get takeout. But you can always put this over some spinach or some romaine, whatever you want to do. And then hopefully by the time we're done chopping today, our chickpeas will be mostly done, and then those will get thrown in there as our crunch factor, although cucumbers and carrots and stuff are pretty crunchy. But it'll give it a nice flavor and texture so that it's not like slimy crunchy, you know how those kind of get sometimes. I may have underestimated the bowl size that I needed. If you've got mason jars, it's a great day to use mason jars because you can just portion these out to make sure that you have enough for the week. Just 2 more. But this is a really easy one to do in any weather. If you're feeling like you're missing out on those veggies, it's a quick one to do. Majority of the time you're spent chopping. Like I said, I would normally add chicken to this. You will not see that today. Like I said, you'd marinate it in your Greek dressing for a couple of hours and then cook it, dice it, add it, done. Just for some more protein, because the only protein that you're going to be getting in this right now is from the chickpeas. So we definitely want to add that. You can also put this on top of rice. You can put it on top of potatoes, quinoa. A lot of options here with what you can do with a Greek. There we go. Let's do our carrots. I leave the skins on my carrots. That's just me. It's got fiber. Extra fiber. So I do leave carrots whole. I don't chop them as well. I just make the little bit tinier discs on these carrots versus cutting them in half and then cutting them in half again. It's just not what I'm about to do with these. And as your chickpeas are kind of roasting and drying, I did not put any oil on there. You don't want to put any oil on there because you want them to dry up. So they have this really, really, really nice crunch. Definitely underestimated my bowl here. This is already almost full. But we've got our carrots. Peppers we're gonna dice. Our recyclables. We're gonna get rid of our scraps because I definitely forgot to grab my normal bowl of scraps today. But that's fine because that's how it works in this chaotic kitchen of mine. Is that sometimes we remember things and sometimes we don't. It's fine. All right, let's dice up our peppers. So peppers, cut the bottom, cut the top. Pop out the green. You should have this, so you don't have a lot of waste. You're gonna chop around the insides. So that we get this part out. And you only have this part. Boom. Do the same thing with this way. Bottom, top, pop, grab the inside, easy. Easiest way to use the full pepper, not have a lot of food waste, all that good stuff. And we're gonna dice these and add them to our bowl, which is already almost full. So, our oven is finally preheated to 350. Rough chop, doesn't have to be exact. Just enough. so it's small enough. Peppers are probably going to be a little bit smaller or just as small as the cucumber. Definitely will be smaller than the carrot unless you decided to dice up your carrots a little bit smaller than what I had. To each their own with chopping sizes. If you don't have a lot of time, put your kids to work. If you don't feel like chopping, if you have children. Put your husbands to work or your significant others. If you don't like chopping, make them do it. It's my favorite thing to do. Because then I can get all the other stuff done. Teamwork. Once you get to the main part of the bell pepper, you should be able to chop it into 3s or 4s, depending on how tall they are. And this is the easiest chopping part. Chopping peppers goes by extremely fast, which is pretty nice. Like I said, 3 or 4, depending on how tall your pepper is. I'm running out of room on my cutting board. We are definitely going to fill this bowl. Dropping things on the ground. That's fine. Again, 3 or 4, depending on your pepper. Then I line them up. Chop, chop. Very easy. All we've got left after this is our red onion to chop, and then we're going to continue making this chopped salad. And if you don't want onion, that's fine. You could add, omit, all types of ingredients. Definitely gonna have to get a bigger bowl. We've got our onion. Chop, chop. Chop the bottom. Chop it in half. Take off that first layer. It should be a smaller layer, but take off the first layer. I like to sometimes, depending upon my onion, I'll pop out the inside. So like this one needs to get popped out. There we go. Same thing with this guy. Just needs to get popped out. And then we're gonna throw all this away. Or we're gonna compost it. Or we're gonna save it and throw it in a freezer bag to make veggie broth with later. A lot of options. I'm gonna toss mine. And we're gonna dice. So, I got a small red onion. If you don't have a small one, you don't have to do all of it. And I make these as tiny as I possibly can. Because I don't like giant clumps of red onion. You can also turn this whole thing into a pasta salad, which is kind of cool. That's loaded with veggies. You have a lot of options. It's up to you which one you use. The possibilities are endless when it comes to a chop. Definitely turn that a little bit too early, but that's okay. If your onion fails to onion, as they do sometimes, just hand here. And we have our onions and the few that I dropped on the ground. All right, we're gonna throw this into a bigger bowl. So into a much bigger bowl is gonna go all of our ingredients because I super duper underestimated that. Throw our onion in. And what we're gonna do with our big bowl of veggies is we're gonna mix it. It's gonna look like a beautiful rainbow. Which is exactly what we want. This gorgeous rainbow right here. I'm gonna throw in some olive oil. I'm gonna throw in some salt. I'm gonna give it a mix. I'm gonna check my chickpeas. They're definitely getting there, but they're not there yet, so you might not see them in this video, but that's okay. I'm gonna throw in some balsamic. Just enough. Just enough, okay? Whatever that means to you. You like more, you like less, you like a red wine vinegar instead, swap it. I'm a big fan of balsamic. It's just super aromatic and I love it. And now, because we're not done yet, we're gonna add some Kalamata olives. I buy them sliced now, so that I don't have to dice them anymore. And all I'm gonna do is take a fork and drop some in. This is gonna add some really good healthy fats. If you're not a fan of Kalamata, don't use them. Use a different one. I use about a third of the jar. her out of the jar. We'll give it a mix. It's also gonna give it some zest and some zing. From the salts that go into a Kalamata olive. That's basically it. So that's how you make the chop. Like I said, we're waiting on the chickpeas. You will throw those into this mix once they're nice and crispy. Mine are almost there. They're starting to dry out now, so they'll probably take another 10 to 15 minutes, but you just kind of have to watch them. You'll know when they're done. Believe me, you'll know. They'll be about half their size, and they'll be really brown and crispy and crunchy. They'll roll very, very easily as you take them out of the sheet tray. And then again, you're gonna chop up your chicken when that is done. If you already cooked that, great. Chop it up, add it in to the same exact bowl. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to scoop all of those things out into mason jars so you're prepped and ready to go for the rest of the week. If you have any questions on how to make a Greek chop, feel free to drop a comment.